Oh, I am just. Oh, well, hello, my name is Zippy Zippo. I am going to be walking through you through City of Mist. I was not prepared for the fact that Charlie is not here. I don't know if you guys can even hear Charlie, but in the dark, there she is. There she is. Yes. Do you guys problem?
Great. We'll do it this way. Can you hear me now?
Hello.
I'm hoping they will be able to hear me very shortly.
If you can hear her, type F in chat now.
Yay, they can hear me. I'm so sorry about that. I had to move onto a different call channel today than I usually use for reasons. And yes, it's been a bit of a change around day here on Roll Up. We were meant to have the wonderful Will Jones D&D sex icon that he is today, but instead I bring you the illustrious Zippy Zippo gaming.exp on Twitter to come and talk to me about City of Mists. And you know what? I think we need to fix a few things because this is all kind of wrong. But that's okay. City of Mists, wonderful game that I'm super excited to get to talk about. But first, I do want to thank our sponsors so much. Tabletop Loot for donating all of these dice to give away. A great place to go and buy your dice, as well as Fantasy Grounds, our tabletop of choice, our fantasy virtual tabletop of choice, I should say, and also Whaling Games, who you can receive up to 20% discount on regular retail prices for all your tabletop gaming needs. I'm very excited to talk about CMS. I've been thinking about this for like the last 2 days and how much I want to play this game. Campaign.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed it.
We were meant to play in a game.
Yeah,
at one point,
we were.
We nearly got to play in a game.
This close, and then schedules didn't line up. But yeah, absolutely love this game. Oh man! Wait, am I Blue Jay's character? Is that who that is right there?
I think that's Blue Jays. Someone in chat, I'm sure, can tell us who that is. I was watching King's Hustle last night. Such a good game.
Yeah, no, I think
DM for the wonderful Met Mancer, Blue Jays in the Pumpkinberry, I think is her handle. Mad Morph. And of course, Will when he's around, and Miss Magitech, of course. It's such a great cast. But anyway, so we were going to talk about City of Mists. Why don't we start by telling people who may not know what City of Mists is?
City of Mists is a new. It's kind of like a noir type of system. It's really good for murder mysteries in general, anything that has stuff to do with detective, but with a little bit of a twist. The player characters are all embodiments of famous myths. They are akin to superheroes. They have powers, but their powers are drawn from a specific mythos that they embody. So you could have the mythos of Thor and be a carpenter, right? And you have Mjolnir, your actual hammer, and you have the control over storms and stuff. Beauty of this game is it's completely narrative, and you don't really have to worry about classes. There's no classes in City of Mist, and there's no number crunching. It is 2d6, and then you add in power tags that are your modifiers. So yeah, no, I absolutely really love this system. I've played it a lot. I've created a bunch of characters, and I'm kind of excited to do this with you guys, and hopefully we can get chat in on helping create a character that we all can just kind of admire.
Keep hitting that retweet button on the tweets, and we will add more viewer decisions as we go along. But today, Zippy and I, please ignore the overlay. I'm having issues with this sheet to update it. It's one of those days. There are gremlins in the machine.
I'm twitter.com at Encounter Roleplay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Everyone should be following it anyways. So
we want to ask you right at the start.
I'm gonna.
What mythos are we looking at? Zippy's gonna make a straw poll.
Yep, I'm gonna make a straw poll. Guys in chat, I want you to think, and this is your motivation. I want you to think of a myth that you read in school, a myth that you enjoy, and I'm going to say anything not real life is considered myth. So if you wanted to say Daredevil, you can say Daredevil. If you want to say Edgar Allan Poe, you can say Edgar Allan Poe. The myth behind Edgar Allan Poe, anything that has like a sinister story, Candyman, all are available. I just watch you guys just type down myths, and we're gonna pick a few. We're gonna throw it into a straw poll, and we're gonna use that for our character creation of our character today, because there are two parts of character creation. There's the logos, and then they are the mythos. The logos is your outer persona. It is your for those of you who don't know, my name is Alex. So when we're talking about logos, we're talking about me, Alex, and what I do for like a day job. Sorry about that. Dog trying to get into the house. Okay, so we got Lilith, we got the Krampus, we got the Gorgons. Okay, those are some really good. Okay.
You can't use the Gorgons because I really want to do a Medusa one, which because we've discussed it before. How bad I want to do Medusa.
Okay, there are some stuff. Okay, so we got the Krampus. I like the Krampus. I like the anti. I like the anti Santa. Okay, we have Baba Yaga. Ooh, that's nice.
Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
So City of Mists describes itself as a create your own comic book characters and play through action, suspense, investigation, and drama. Use your character's abilities, resources, and even feelings to power cinematic actions that will shape the course of your story. I'm so excited. Okay. But it's not like that comic book feel in terms of you are necessarily like that Superman stereotype hero comic book. It's more, it's a space where you can creatively do anything and you bend the rules to make it make sense. I think on the City of Mist website, it literally says it's all about interpretation and description is more than the numbers.
Muses. Okay, we got Ash Ketchum. Let's put that down.
Ash Ketchum, nice. Yep. The Tin Man, that's a really good one.
Are we talking about the Wizard of Oz Tin Man? Or is there another Tin Man that I don't know?
One with him. I thought Wizard of Oz, but I'm sure checking.
Navinter made a decent point. It's a little like if you've taken Powers by the Apocalypse game and added parts from Fate. It is a Powered by the Apocalypse based game. Yeah. That's the one thing that I do know is that it's Powered by the Apocalypse. So the Trickster. Okay, we got the Trickster. The Coyote. Okay, all right.
And also, if at any point during the stream you have a question, stick it straight in chat, and either myself or Zippy, I'm sure we'll see it, and we'll do our best to answer it for you.
Okay. I'll probably take maybe one more, and then we'll get the straw poll up. We got about 7 right now. I'm going to go for a nice even 8. Fenrir.
It's a magic number.
All right. Fenris. We're going to create the poll, and I'm going to pop it in chat, and then we're going to talk about whatever Charlie wants to talk about, and then take a look at this.
And then we can get into the character.
Okay, so there's the straw poll.
Say ahead. That would have been an interesting challenge. I would have been down for that challenge.
Yeah. So
the legend that is.
Okay,
okay, Zippy, tell me, what is it about the system that got you excited? When someone came up to you and said, I want to play this game, and it's called City of Mists, and this is what it's about, like, what excited you about this?
When somebody approached to me because they were doing stuff with Son of Oak Games, the people who create City of Mist, and they said, do you want to play in this game, this kind of Powered by the Apocalypse? I've never played a Powered by the Apocalypse game at all. So I didn't know. I was like, okay, I'm down. He sends me the rule book. I sit down and I read it and I realize, holy crap, I have no idea what's going on in this system. There's no classes. There's no stats. What do you mean I get to create my own like character based on like vague descriptions and seeing how I can plug those into actions to roll dice? And I read it, and it when I sat down and played it and found out that it was like much more narratively than it is by number crunching, there's not a lot of ways to min-max in this game. I don't think there is a way to min-max. You know, if there is, I haven't found it. And I'm really good at min-maxing. So the freedom of character creation in this game is just astounding, and I love it. I always like sitting down with people who want to make a game for City of Mist or play in a game and just sit down and make characters. Like I have one who is a leprechaun and his logos is a cobbler, you know, stuff that's on the nose. You had one character whose name was Henry. He was a doctor, but his mythos was Cernunnos, the Celtic god of the hunt and nature. And then you have one of my other characters, which is a detective, kind of akin to Big B Wolf, but his mythos was a much more broader idea, which is he was the embodiment of all werewolf lore. From the Greeks to the Native Americans to the European, like the English ideas of werewolves and stuff.
Yeah.
He was the embodiment of all that. And that was from one of the characters that are actually in the book is the embodiment of famous conquerors. You know, his name is Barton.
I think Nye Vinta in chat, Nicholas makes a really good point. The freedom of character creation in City of Mist can be overwhelming. In the same way as when you get a book that's really rules heavy, of, you know, these are all the parameters you have to make this character within, these are all the numbers you got to roll. When you get given a sheet that's basically like, make it all up, that is intimidating in the opposite direction of, I can do anything. But then when you start to embrace that freedom, as you're showing, you can make such a diverse range of characters with so many inspirations, and you can kind of just go wherever the ideas are taking you. And hopefully we get to explore some of the chat's ideas today to give you guys some ideas on how you can make any of these characters.
Exactly. We're going to break it down. You can, if you have the book, the character sheet is in the book. The interesting thing about the character sheet in this system is that it's not a sheet per se. If you actually sit down and play City of Mist, not on Roll20 or Fantasy Grounds or whatever, the cool thing about City of Mist is that your character sheet is a collection of cards, and these cards are called theme books. Each half of your character, there's two halves. There's the logos, which is your everyday person, the vessel, if you will. And then you have the mythos, which is the myth that we are trying to gather what to build a character around. And each of those halves, the logos and the mythos, have their own theme books. The logos has more to deal with your everyday life, and your mythos is more of your superpower. You know, how does your mythos act within the world? I thought that was really cool. You know, I love D&D. I love having character sheets, but the idea of having cards, you know, always amused me and stuff. And I thought that was like really, really fun. There is also another theme book that you get for working with your friends, like your other party members, if you will. It's called your crew themes, and you as a crew create crew themes that have additional powers that you guys use to help each other out. And I thought that was really, really cool.
I love that, because that really encourages that collaborative play. The idea that we're all in this together, and look at the cool things that we can do when we are together. And it invites you to kind of have that interest in each other, and, you know, to reach to someone else and say, look, when we're a team, how about this is something we can do?
Exactly. And there are positives and negatives that you can have when working as a crew. Let's say you have a crew member that is always getting your crew in trouble. You can actually, through their version of leveling up by gaining attention to the theme, you can get a perk, basically like a feature or a feat, that says you name one person in your crew who is the black sheep, and their actions don't reflect on your crew. You know, just in case you decide to jump in on your local game store game and you have a band full of murder hobos, you can at least have it like, this does not reflect on me. So, but yeah, this is great. I love this system. It gets kind of confusing when it comes to the actions that you can take, but I know that we're going to talk about that more next time. I think what we want to do is kind of,
we're at that happy ideas space where anything is possible, and we figure out how to make it possible.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love a good murder hobo campaign. You know, there's always something good about being a murder hobo. You know, being the hero that just murders everybody. So, but yeah. So you were saying?
So how do you decide the lines between the logos and the mythos life? How do you go about, like, you personally, what is your approach to that?
Well, the first thing that I do is I ask the MC. It's not a DM in this system. It's called a Master of Ceremonies. Just kind of like in Vampire the Masquerade. It's not a Dungeon Master. It's the storyteller, I think. Yeah. I ask, what is our ratio for our characters? You have 4 personal theme books that you have. And the way that it works is it's on a ratio. You can have 4 logos, or you can have 4 mythos, or you can have any range in between. Now, the difference between 4 logos and 4 mythos is if you are 4 logos, you are just an ordinary human. You are a sleeper. Most characters start off with 1 mythos, meaning that they are touched by the mist. That allows them to channel their mythos. That 1 theme book allows that. Some DMs or some MCs, I'm sorry, I did it. I made the faux pas. Yep. Some DMs allow a 2-to-2 ratio, meaning 2 logos and 2 mythos. Very rare, unless there's a reason behind it. Have I seen MCs allow a 3 mythos, 1 logos? Because when you get up to 3 mythos, you're getting onto that very dangerous edge of, if you lose anything that makes you lose a theme from logos, and means you have to immediately replace it with a mythos. Whenever you lose a theme book, you have to replace it with a theme of the opposite faction. And so when you lose your last logos and you get 4 mythos, you become an avatar, which an avatar is you become the myth.
The myth, yeah.
Exactly. I did a game on
Scraticus. That line, that boundary.
Yeah, I did a game on Scraticus' channel where I played a hobo as a logos, but his mythos was the Archangel Michael. And he lost his last logos and he became the Archangel Michael. So
and how did that play out for people who might be curious about what happens then?
You become Michael. Most MCs either take the character away from you and make you make a new character. That previous character just kind of becomes an NPC. Same with if you become a sleeper. But I've known some MCs to allow you to keep a sleeper or a avatar and let you play it out. Scrat let me play out the Archangel Michael, and I was like, he's going to just be this pompous angel who just thinks of him as like God's gift to humanity, because, you know,
which
of
Michael
what he did. Yeah, exactly. But he does it in a very egotistical manner. You know, too many Michaels are all like, oh well, you know, I'm nice, I'm the savior. But you know, what if he just he gets a big head from being the Archangel Michael? So it's super fun. That was fun. So most of the time you're going to stick between either one mythos and 3 logos, or 2 logos and 2 mythos. I think if you're going for a longer campaign, going 1 mythos and 3 logos allows the character to come into their power and have a progression. And having 2 mythos and 2 logos is good if you're planning to have more of a quicker campaign. This means that the character already has a grasp of his powers. He knows that he or she knows that they have this power, and they already have a kind of a grip on it. You know, this isn't something new to them. They've been with this power for a bit. So it all depends. I'm thinking for this, we're going to do a 2 and 2. We're going to do a 2 logos and 2 mythos. I think that's great. That lets us explain at least 2 different types of logos theme books and 2 different types of mythos theme books, and create powers for each of them. So we're probably going to do the trouble for a little bit longer, and let's see what the
yeah, let's get some more votes then.
Let's see. We got Baba Yaga coming in at 3. We got the Muses are tied at 3. We got Fenrir at 2. We got the Krampus at 1, and we have Ash Ketchum at 1. So we're gonna let that go for a little bit longer, and if there is a tie, we'll roll a dice.
So the game is exploring this character, and you have the opportunity of the developments between the logos and the mythos. But what sort of adventures do you actually have? Because obviously you've got this inward, it's not a power struggle, but this inward flux going on in response to the exterior.
The progression through the game is multifaceted. You have the inner struggle between your logos and your mythos. Let's say your mythos is a vastly like a foil. You're good, your mythos is evil. You have that inner struggle that you can play out, you know, especially during downtime when there's not a lot of stuff going on. There is a section of the game called downtime. It's when you can either work the case, or you can kind of have an introspective look on yourself, or you can go do your day job kind of deal. So you can have that inner struggle, you can have that inner questioning, because all your mythos theme books are going to be written with a main theme question in mind. And this is the question you ask yourself when you want to kind of look in on your mythos. Most common campaigns are murder mysteries. Something has gone down, and there's something bigger. There's something more sinister behind it. But you can really make the main story whatever you want. It's kind of like having that main overarching villain who's just there, and then just playing through the experiences of these extraordinary individuals who have mythic powers and whatnot.
Oh, we just had a swing towards the Muses.
Oh, we did?
It's very exciting watching this chat poll.
Okay, so the Muses. Okay, so are we going to focus on a singular muse, or are we going to use the muse as the idea?
This is a question, because the Muses, they were 9, I believe. I could be wrong about this. I think in most accounts they're 9 daughters of Zeus.
Yes.
And they each have kind of different territories of inspiration. So poetry, history, hymns, science, comedy, astronomy, all of that sort of stuff going on. So are we going with the idea of this person's mythos is to do with the embodiment of inspiration? Or that
I'm feeling
Okay.
if we narrow it down to a single muse, I feel like we're locking ourselves into an idea that has no room to wiggle. I'm thinking if we take the muses as a whole and make the mythos the muses, we have a wide range of powers that we can make for the mythos, you know? So let's see. Looks like the muses win. We can start making character now.
Okay.
Yes,
let's do this.
All right.
Let's jump in.
Okay. So the first thing I like to do is think of the logos. Now, the cool thing about the logos is it doesn't have to do anything with the mythos. It does as the embodiment of the muses. You don't have to be a self-help motivational speaker. You don't have to actually be a muse. You don't have to be the person who's around artists. You don't have to be any of that. You know, that's the freedom of this game. But I'm thinking, for simplicity's sake, we think about a day job that would work with the muses. You know, I think for just keeping it nice and simple, what are some day jobs that this person can have that would attract the muse mythos to choose that person as the vessel? We got one from Cleric of Cord, librarian. Ooh, that's pretty cool.
I just read something in chat about from Chaotic Blue about them being a jack of all trades, and in my head I instantly leapt to this person who has multiple jobs. You know, those people who just I don't know if they like to work, but they always feel compelled whatever hour they're awake to be working. So, you know, they start off in the morning as, I don't know, like a mailman, and then they go to the next job and they cover primary school children, and then they go to their next job and they work in a jazz bar, and then at the end of the night they work as a writer or on a blog or something, and they're just compulsive workers.
Yeah, I have a friend who went to university to be a chemical engineer, and he does chemical engineering as one of his jobs, but he also works in a store, like a local game store. He writes books and stuff. And ooh, I like this. Guidance counselor or teacher. I feel like a guidance counselor.
I was thinking like university professor would be, because I always think of like the Greeks and like that high level of education.
Okay, we can do that.
I like Chaotic Blue's suggestion as well. Librarian by day, nude art teacher by night. I think that's hilarious.
Nude art teacher by night. We could do that. You know what? Let's take that. Let's take that idea. The librarian by day, nude art teacher by night. So this person works like as a librarian during the day, and she teach. First off, what are the pronouns for this character?
It could go any way, and at the end of the show, what we normally do, or what I normally do at the end of the 2 weeks, is post these character sheets online. So if you do have to download them, you feel free to change the pronouns and change that. I was thinking she.
Okay, well,
a lot of the muses are generally the 9 daughters, but it doesn't mean you have to be female. Obviously, exactly. You don't have to be binary at all. But
yeah, so for our sake, we're just going to choose female. You know, okay, so she is a librarian by day. So let's go over to the theme books that we have for logos. Okay, so let me get to the table of contents. There are behind the scenes, moments of truth. Those are the moves. Theme books. Okay. Let's see. Starting on page 144 is when you start getting into the logos theme books. You have the defining event, the defining relationship, the mission, the personality, possessions, routine, and training. The defining event is for this example, we'll say is an event that where her powers awakened. Her first, the stressful event that caused her to become the chosen of the muse. Let's see. The defining relationship. Does this librarian have a friend, a lover, a parent, a coworker that defines them as a character? Like the Philatides to Hercules, you know, if we want to go to, or the Chiron, if you want to go to the actual myth, you know.
Yeah.
Let's see. Personality. Is there anything about this person that she can use to her advantage? Does she have any possessions that define her as a character? The routine could be any of her jobs, right? Her routine could be named, the theme book could be named librarian by day, nude art teacher by night. That's the theme book name. And then we can think of power tags that she can use that kind of goes with the fact that she's a librarian by day and a nude art teacher by night. You know? And then she has training. Training is anything that requires training, basically. When I did Henry, he had medical training. He was able to do medical routines, be kind of like the healer. In a system without classes, he was the healer. So it's kind of like that. I'm thinking we can do personality for the muse. It's to tie in with her mythos. We can do personality, and let's do routine. Right?
I like that.
Oh no. What about defining relationship? Who does she inspire?
There were some good suggestions for that in chat.
Okay. Yeah. I'm thinking, okay, so let's do personality. Okay, so when you go to page 156 of the book, for those of you who have the book who are reading along, 156 is the Logos theme book personality. And they give really good examples in the book. Personality is characters, traits, and quirks, temperament, personal style, habits, social skills, lifestyle, attitude, an ongoing act. So if they are actively trying to hide who they are from people, mental stability or lack thereof. I'm thinking let's think about all of this: the characters, traits, and quirks, the temperament, the personal style, social skills, and attitude is the stuff that I want to work on. Now, when you get into a theme book, when you get, let's see, page 157 starts off with the concept. Think about your character's modern day life. How does she behave? What kind of personality traits does she display? Is she playing a role for the world to see? What does she think or feel about herself? Based on this, think about the answer to the question below. What are you like? What is she like? Some prompts are: I am often blank. I want others to blank. Other people find me blank. I think / feel that as far as people go, I am blank. So let's think of the concept for her personality. I'm thinking we go with the third prompt. Other people find me blank.
I like that idea.
Okay, so what can we fill in that blank with? And then that will kind of help us.
The muses in concept are all about other people. It makes sense that part of her identity is defined by other people find me. That makes total sense to me.
She has a very outward locus of perception, right? I think it's called. She cares about what other people think. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, okay. Okay, so other people find me alluring. We can go even more on the nose, saying other people find me inspiring. Because
like
the
that.
muses inspire. So, okay.
I think there's no shame with going on the nose with this particular
No,
point.
I don't never ever think in City of Mist, oh man, that's too stereotypical, or oh man, that's too campy. You know, that's
I need to be more clever. Well, you don't.
I need to be you don't be clever. Well, no, be clever, but you don't have to be clever.
Yeah, you don't have to.
So yeah, you don't have to. Don't be clever.
Don't be clever. That's our lesson for today.
Don't fucking be clever. Don't
imagining. Do you know Matilda and the character Miss Honey, that one teacher that everyone just gravitated towards because she had that inspiring presence without being, like an overwhelming muse? Like, this is the sort of presence I'm imagining in this library. Is just this warm person who genuinely loves what they're doing and just does their best. And that's what's inspiring, just seeing someone with that energy.
Let's see. So what is the name of this theme? We need a thematic name for this. Her personality. What's another word for somebody who's inspirational? What's another word for somebody who's inspirational?
Let's have a look. to Google.
To Google. Ooh, Cleric of Court. Guiding light. Like that.
That's perfect.
Okay. So when you think of the concept, and if you're looking at the character sheet now, you will see this thing called the mystery/identity. The mystery is specifically for the mythos, and the identity is specifically for the logos. Now, the difference between these two is the mystery is always written as a question, whereas the identity is written as a statement, fact. Your logos is factual. Your mythos is not, I guess, in a way. So, gregarious, motivational, these are all great words. I think I like Cleric of Chords, guiding light. So her identity is other people find me inspirational. Keep it on the nose. And that is the statement. Okay. Now, when we get done with the identity, we get into the power tags. And we'll just go right to the book. Power tag questions. Answer the first question, then choose 2 more questions to answer. Each question with a single description, no more than a few words long. In your answer, you should describe something that will be useful to your character during the game. Each answer becomes a power tag. Write it on your card under power tags along with the letter of the question. Now, you don't have to stick to the power tag questions. This is your first character of City of Mist. I would definitely look at the power tag questions so you can kind of get a feel of how they should be worded and how they should be created. So that you have, let's see, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different questions for the power tag, and you're going to choose 3 of them and answer them. So, what kind of system is City of Mist? City of Mist is a Powered by the Apocalypse narrative-based system. You still like reading bodies like a book, like you can use it to guess motivations and interaction. I think we're going to do that with routine history, but I like that idea. I like the concept of where you're going. Okay, so let's read all the questions. Question number 8 is what lies at the core of your personality? Question number B is what is the first thing people notice about you? What is the next one? A C is what is the interpersonal skills you have thanks to your personality? D is when you want, you can also come across as blank. as a special skill or status did you pursue? What special skill or status did you pursue because of your personality? What aspect of your personality keeps you safe or helps you resist influence? What quality or item best expresses your personal style or enhances it? What useful habit or routine have you cultivated thanks to your personality? What typically interests you? And do you strive to improve yourself? So this is so those are the questions, and then you just answer them, right? So let's see.
We have to answer the first one, and then we need to choose two more, right?
Yeah, answer the first one. So A, what lies at the core of your personality? They have some examples. Truly wants to do good, tough as nails, self-reliant, my own type of eccentric, I'm sorry. Limitless creativity. Ooh, I like that one. Opportunist, and I wish I could just disappear. I think I absolutely love the example that they gave, limitless creativity. Because she's a muse, right? So
yeah, I think that's a great example.
She's supposed to be inspiring creativity. Choice. Wouldn't want to have a limit of creativity if you're trying to inspire somebody. Okay, so now let's choose two other questions. Hold on. The dog is going crazy. Let's see. What skill or status did you pursue because of your personality? Let's see. What aspect of your personality keeps you safe or helps you resist influence?
That's a good one. Because I think when you're someone who is a creator and a giver, it's really easy for that to be manipulated and used against you. So there has to be something about her that also protects her.
Yes. So the examples that they have is incorruptible, emotionally impervious, common sense, free thinker, cautious. I talk my way out of anything. You wouldn't hurt a child, would you? And that is in quotations. That is a quote. It's basically
you wouldn't hurt a child, would you?
Let's see. Going from these examples, I'm thinking a free thinker or talk my way out of anything.
It could go either way, couldn't it? Because if you're a muse and someone who inspires, it's really easy to use your words to get the situation turned around. But then when you're a muse, you're also limitless creativity, we already know about. So a free thinker also ties into that, where you're not confined by, a strict flowchart of how to solve a problem. You're more open, and it's easier for you to stop people from manipulating you because you can think outside the box and maybe turn around what's going on and look at it in another way.
Okay, we'll answer that question F. We'll do the chat is thinking free thinker, and I think I'm going to write that down as well. Let's see.
Daydreamer was an interesting suggestion.
Ooh, daydreamer?
Not on the list, but I like that as an idea.
It doesn't have to be on the list. I'm just going for
no, 100%.
But daydreamer. Yes.
I really like that as an idea.
And
that's a really interesting one that you could create ways that protects you.
Yeah. So we're gonna so her powers are limitless creativity. She is a free thinker and she is a daydreamer. Now let's think about weaknesses. Choose one question to answer. Answer it with a single description, no more than a few words. You should describe something that would impede your character's action during the game. Your answer becomes a weakness tag. Write it down on the thing card under weakness tags along with the letter of the question. So she has limitless creativity. She's a free thinker. She's a daydreamer. What is her weakness?
Overwhelming empathy.
Overwhelming empathy. Ooh, okay.
That was like my gut reaction of this someone who can just think so creatively and so openly and so freely. You then put yourself in other people's shoes, and that starts to become like a weight in you.
Yeah, okay. Her weakness is overwhelming empathy. So the way the MC could use that is if there is somebody distraught obviously distraught, and she has to choose whether going after the culprit or stopping to help the civilian that just got mugged. Basically, let's give a scenario. This lady just got mugged. The culprit is running off, and she has to make a choice. Does she stay and comfort the person who just got mugged, or does she go after the culprit? And during that choice would be a great time for the MC to say, your weakness of overwhelming empathy kicks in, which would then take your modifier. So let's say you're rolling with one power tag. So you would roll dice +1. Your weakness would then take away that +1. So you'd just be rolling straight dice. So, all right. So that's
and
her
it's a
first
D6
logo.
system, right?
It's a D6 system.
Right?
It's a 2D6 system. It's 2D6, and then you add power tags. So if you choose to roll with 3 power tags, you roll 2d6 plus 3. For example, if you roll 2d6 and get a 6 plus 3, you actually rolled a 9. You know?
So let's just do that real quick for this roll. So we'll take your situation.
Mm-hmm.
So what would she end up rolling? She just ends up rolling the 2d6, correct? Because she's got the power tag.
Let's say
got the weakness.
Let's say she has a power tag. For example, let's say her power tag is incredible speed.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with the muse, but for example, sake is incredible speed. That is her power tag, because to do an action, she has to have a skill or a power tag that would be used in that situation. You can't just kind of roll. Some MCs allow just a straight roll with no power tags, but the way the game reads is you can't attempt to do something without having a relevant power tag. That stops people from kind of just making a person who can do anything. And then you actually have to let the party member who can actually do that take the chance of using their power tag. So for the example, since she's a solo player, she has breakneck speed. She's going to go toe to toe. All right. And we'll cover more about these actions next time. So she's rolling 2d6, and she's rolling +1 because she has a power tag. But the MC also says this lady beside you is distraught, and your overwhelming empathy is kicking in. So you're going to roll your dice +1 with a -1 due to the weakness. Now, you're still rolling because you had a relevant power tag to make the roll, to attempt the roll, but it's being, I think the term is ablated by the fact that you have a negative because of your weakness. So if you want to roll that, that's fine. And I think so we can kind of go through this. We can do one Mythos theme book.
Time is going by.
Yeah, and if we have more time,
5 minutes.
5 minutes, I can bang out a Mythos. I can bang out a Mythos thing. So while you're rolling that, I am going to choose a Mythos that would kind of work. Yes, divination. Hell yeah. Okay, so for those of you who are following along with the book, if you turn your book to page 124, you'll come upon the Mythos theme book of divination. And the divination can be anything from clairvoyance to special senses to fortune telling to a mystical source of knowledge to magically finding a person, an object, or information, psychometry, not psychology, but psychometry, and communicating with other realms or beings.
I think it's going to be that first one, right?
Clairvoyance, special senses, or mystical source of knowledge, I feel would work perfect for a muse. So let's choose divination. I think we're gonna call this theme book musings. opposed to just the muse, we'll call it musings.
Musings.
So, let's see. All right, so now we go to the concept, which is kind of just like the logos, but it's a question. Okay, so the questions is the something that when you sit down and do downtime, you can take an action to ask the DM to explore your mythos, and your mystery really helps the MC. This is where you as a player can help your MC by giving them a mystery that they can then kind of think of something to help you progress your character along. So the mystery, I like to form it as we're going to call this character, her name is going to be Fiona. I love the name Fiona. So Fiona is going to ask herself, can I inspire people to greatness? That is her question.
Very good question.
For her mystery is, can I inspire people to greatness? Now, let's think of the power tag questions. Let's go with the first one. What allows you to uncannily know things you wouldn't normally know? Some of the examples is flashes of what was here before, a wolf's instincts, instant book read. Ooh, I like that, instant book reading.
Instant book reading.
What was that? Chaotic blue, incredible speed reading, instant book reading, premonitions.
Did we call her like the Page Master?
We could.
Did you ever see that movie? It was a good movie.
I fucking love. I'm sorry. Ooh, I love the Page Master with Christopher Lloyd and Macaulay Culkin, and oh god,
the little
John Stewart
guy. Rick Moranis
is in it. Jean-Luc Picard is in it as well. He's the pirate book.
Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg.
And Whoopi Goldberg. So
yeah, sorry, we got sidetracked. Our Page Master.
Sorry. So premonitions, torment poor souls, or read minds. I think one of her power tags can be instant book reading. As a muse and as a librarian. Perfect. She needs to be able to inspire people, and if she doesn't know the contents of a book or a subject that she's trying to inspire, she can't. So she just looks at a book and she instantly reads it. She's a very smart person. Let's see. What other type of knowledge can you access with your power? Flashes of other parts of the city, sniff out intruders, psychometry, and sense a person's guilt. Ooh, that's pretty good.
I like that.
Because to be a muse.
What if it was more like sense a person's dreams, so that you can sense their motivations and their goals? Because that's what a muse needs to sense, so that she can help inspire towards that end. Yes.
Or sense. Like we'll even put it to a more generic. I like Cleric of Chords, sense motive.
Yes.
She can sense the ambition. She can sense the aspiration, and she can sense the guilt. She can sense motive. If the person is guilty, she'll be able to sense that through their motive. You know. So I like that. That is going to be question number B. Let's see.
We need to wrap up real soon because we have a wonderful Dragonflight 1-shot, 2-shot coming in with Grant Ellis very, very soon.
Right. So, let's just jump down to the weakness, and then we're done. So, what happens when your divination overwhelms you? Let's do haunted. The pain of knowing. I like that. Is what it says as one of the examples on page 126. The pain of knowing. She knows their deepest, darkest desires, and she has to live with that.
There's a book I'm reading at the moment called The Golem and the Genie, and it's basically the golem can sense everyone's desires around her. Mm-hmm. And yeah, there is a lot of trouble in knowing that sort of thing about a person.
Yeah. So that's a basic rundown. I know I went really fast. I would love to just kind of take 4 hours, sit down with chat and just bang out a character sheet, you know? But hopefully what I went through kind of helps you guys start sitting down and think of your own characters, as well as give you kind of a tutorial on how to make it. I know we kind of used a lot of the examples, but the examples are really good. There's nothing wrong with using some of Oak's examples. You know, for your first time, I would definitely stick with the examples, because if you try to go off the rails, you might make a character that you're not satisfied with. So,
well, thank you very much, Alex, for hopping in and doing this with us today. I'm gonna say this, and I hope you don't mind, but I'm pretty sure if you have any questions, Alex Zippy Gaming.exp on Twitter will be happy to answer them, because I know how much you love talking gaming and characters. And I'm so grateful that you came on to do this with me today. Where can people find you? What do you do? Anything you want to plug?
What do? I do variety gaming here on Twitch. I don't do a lot of tabletop RPG on my streaming channel. I've thought about it, but that's, I don't know. I'm kind of like inching my way to the edge. I really want to, but I don't know. But I do a lot of variety in gaming. I also, I Prairie Dog. Is it safe to come out? No. Okay, I'm just going to go back in. I hop around Twitch constantly, doing shows on variety of different channels. I've done shows on Scraticus's. I've done shows here on Encounter Roleplay. I've played with Grant Ellis, amazing dungeon master. I've played with Eric Vulgaris and stuff. One of the games I'm currently doing right now is every Wednesday on the Greyhawk channel. I am doing Mordenkainen's Path to the Plains, which is a plains hopping adventure throughout the multiverse, centered around specifically the plane of Oerth, where the Greyhawk is centered around. So that's
make
me.
Sure you go and check it out. Everything that Zippy does is wonderful. It's always a good time. I miss playing with you, and I'm so glad we got to play Americana today. If you've enjoyed what we've been talking about, we are back again next week. Next week, I'm here with Metamancer, who does run the City of Mists game on this channel, as well as a lot of other things to do with the game. I'm going to have to get you back for something else. We'll find something else. I apologize for the gremlins and the work today on the stream, but I feel really excited about this character, and I want to play, and I want to keep working on them. And yeah, so I hope everyone will come back next week. Zippy, I look forward to talking to you again soon. Let's hop away, and let's go and head towards dragons. Take care, everyone. We'll see you very soon.